Paul, in this time, was really under, we'll see at the end of this chapter, house arrest for about 2 years. So he stayed in Rome for about 2 years. Paul, during those 2 years, wrote Philippians, Ephesians, Colossians, and Philemon. Sometimes we say, I heard somebody ask me one time, well, you think Paul missed it? He went to Jerusalem, got arrested. It led him to being arrested for most of the rest of his life. Do you think he missed God's voice in the middle of that? Going through being in prison, do you think there was something God had better? And I like to say it like this. I'll just prove that it was God's plan in 4 words. Colossians, Philemon, Ephesians, Philippians. And in those chapters, we're going to see and put some connections together here in a second. You'll see that Paul references things like, man, I greet you, and so do all those who are believers now in Caesar's household. Paul is winning Rome to Christ. And it took the imprisonment to do it. Paul's most flourishing, best time of ministry was probably in the worst time of his life. I'm going to tell you, some of the best ministry you and I'll ever have is in the worst times of our lives. Some of the worst times. Why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? That could have been Paul's perspective, but Paul said this is really advancing the gospel. You know what? I didn't have time to finish that book. I'm going to finish it here in prison. There's a lot of things Paul was able to do because he listened to the Lord. And here's the deal. He went to Rome. All these other missionary journeys, Paul had to come up with the funds himself to get there. Guess what? When he got to Rome, Rome paid for it. Rome, all expense trip to Rome, Italy, baby. Not the way he wanted to go. But guess what happened? The Lord took him in his timing and his way. Trust the Lord in the middle of whatever you're going through. Some of the worst times of your life can be the best times of ministry if you'll let the Lord use you in those things. Let's keep reading. Verse 17, after 3 days, he called together the local leaders of the